So there was a rumor that Shiloh and I were intimate, that we had sex, and it wasn't true. And I don't know who started the rumor. I don't know how it got started. I don't think it came from her. Showing up didn't come from me because it didn't happen, right? But somehow there was a rumor that it was like, well, why were they so close? And that first they were interested in each other. She was in his top three, and then all of a sudden they just became friends. So they must have had sex and decided just to be friends. That was the rumor. We had sex and just decided to be friends. And I'm like, who is going around starting these lies? And of course, that lie got to Sabrina, right? So she started acting different, you know, but didn't address it with me, right? So when Shiloh tells me the story about what happened with her and Phil, because Shiloh and I talk all the time, because she calls me, I call her back, right? So she tells me what happened with Phil, and I'm like, listen, you just need to calm down. I don't think there's really a need to blow this thing up. Maybe you just self-eliminate, focus on somebody else or, whatever it may be. But I was like, whatever you decide, I support you. And she was like, okay. She's like, well, I haven't decided if I'm going to talk about it or if I'm just going to leave, you know what I'm saying, or what she's going to do. I was like, all right. She's like, well, because I haven't decided what I'm going to do, don't tell nobody that you know. And I'm like, all right. And I'm like, well, what do you want? I was like, don't tell nobody. She's like, if anybody asks you, say that you don't know, because I haven't decided what I'm going to do. I'm like, all right, if somebody asks me, I'm going to say, I don't know. She's like, all right, cool. I was like, I got you. You know, your secret's safe with me. So that's the same day that I was meeting Sabrina's cousin on the Zoom chat. So I do that, and we have this conversation while I'm outside in the car waiting to go in. So I go in, we do the Zoom chat, whatever. I don't know if it was the same day or a couple of days later. I actually talked to Phil maybe the next day as well. Me and Phil had a conversation in the parking lot where he told me his side. And so Sabrina asked me, hey, you heard about what happened with Shiloh and Phil? And I was like, I don't know. She made me promise to say, I don't know, right? So I'm like, okay, no, I don't know, because I don't know what Shiloh has told everybody. Mm-hmm. She told me that she didn't know what she was going to say. So if anybody asked me, I don't know. So I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know what she told everybody, right? Oh, I can't tell you what happened in deliberation, but the whole deliberation was just her, spilling the beans. I'm like, real. Okay. What did she say? Because I don't know what she said everything. Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. So that was that. Later that night, I guess Shiloh and Sabrina have a conversation, and Shiloh's like, yeah, well, I told Walt, he's the first person I called. I'm like, So now Sabrina like, you a liar? You a liar? I'm like, oh, God damn. I'm like, I'm not a liar. I am keeping a promise to a friend. Actually, you should look at me like, wow, you can hold a good, if you told me a secret, I'd keep it. You know what I'm saying?